Hi, this is Tutor Nick B, and this is lesson 533. Title of today's lesson is the difference between stress and distress. Okay, somebody wants a screenshot, do it right now. Let's get right to it. This is one that sometimes comes up in class because there is a little bit of crossover. Actually, distress comes from stress. So anytime you are distressed, there is stress in it too. So sometimes you probably could have said stress, but it's not so true the other way around, because distress is actually prolonged extreme stress. So let's continue. So if one feels stress, he or she feels worried and tense due to difficulties in one's life, especially dealing with everyday pressures of work, school, relationships, etc. Stress is unavoidable. We all have some stress. And sometimes one could say it could be good for us to stimulate performance. Sometimes there's a lot of us that sometimes might be too lazy without some stress. So sometimes we need stress just for that reason. All right, let's continue. If one feels distress, he or she feels sorrow, suffering, or pain. Distress comes about when stress is very severe, prolonged, or the two combined. All right, let's continue. Distress could be caused by a long-term injury, possibly, the death of a loved one, especially one that is not easy to get over, losing one's job, continued financial problems, etc. Okay, let's continue. Distress is often dealing with challenges that are out of our control, basically. And if lasting long enough, could lead to an anxiety disorder. So most everyday stress usually doesn't, lead to anxiety disorders. But stress that's continued for way too long or way too deep could do that. All right, let's continue. So here we'll give some examples just to kind of help you get a better feel. Here's the first one. Some students need the stress of a deadline to encourage them to work harder. Now, you definitely would not use distress here. This is just everyday stress. My daughter is under stress right now because her finals are this week. Again, you would just use stress, not really distress here. Once the finals are over, the stress is usually gone. Number 3, we are under more stress because this is our busy season. Again, especially if the stress is, more temporary and more like every day, you're probably just stress and not distress. Number 4, she is going to be under a lot of stress until this project is finished. All right, now this could be a few weeks or a month or so. But still, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, probably will end at some point. All right, number 5, she suffered a lot of distress going through this painful divorce. Yeah, first of all, it could be very deep. And it could be long. Divorces are not usually always quick, and they often have lasting effects. So, yeah, you could suffer distress from this. Number 6, that athlete had to bear a lot of distress due to a career-ending injury. Yeah, maybe his lifelong dreams were destroyed too. He might not be able to get over that very easily, and he may feel lost after that. This is what he really wanted to do, so this could cause much more longer, prolonged stress or deeper stress. And number 7 here, the distress caused by the death of her loved one caused her to go into a deep depression. If you're going into a deep depression, this is like, anxiety disorders, things like that. So that would definitely go more under distress. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it's clear. I hope it was very informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.